Okay, we are going to do a quick little message on what you need to hear right now. This is the Happy Tarot. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords, the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Emperor. What you need to hear is that once you make a decision to move forward with your life in an area that you really do not feel very passionate about at all, after you make that decision, you're going to be able to mature in that specific area faster than you are expecting. And you're also going to get more enjoyment out of it and feel more passionate about it than you thought you would maybe when you stopped or when you had to take a break from whatever it was. Whatever it is that you're struggling to decide on what to do, how to move forward, once you just take the step, that's when it'll get better. And with the Emperor, I feel like this is really going to bring you a lot of balance, and it's going to help you move forward, not just with this thing that you've been stalled on, but in pretty much every area. All right, so I'm saying that the reason that you've been stalled in this area is that you've stopped yourself or slowed yourself way down, because I feel like you were just exhausted. I feel like you were tired of fighting, you were tired of moving forward, just keep trudging and trudging and trudging. You were tired of building, and maybe that's because you were coming up on an area that you were unfamiliar with. But one thing that I think that it's important to understand is that just because something makes you nervous or you feel anxious about something doesn't mean that that's the wrong decision or the wrong choice. It's just that it's unfamiliar. But once you're able to work through this fear of moving forward with whatever it is that you are currently slow or stuck in, you're going to feel better about it. And that's not to say that your feelings are not valid, because they absolutely are. And part of life is learning when we need to slow down and when we need to take breaks and when we need to stop for the sake of our sanity. And you've done that, and that's absolutely okay. That's great. Honestly, a lot of times we don't slow down when we need to, but don't stay there. Because another part of learning about life is doing things we don't want to or that we're nervous about. All right. Once you really sit down and think about how you're going to move forward, how you're going to do this, how you're going to open yourself up to more possibilities, and you start moving with it and you accept help if you're offered help, or even ask for help and then accept it after you've asked and been offered, which is a struggle that a lot of us deal with. I personally do not like asking for help, and I like accepting help even less, because that's just how I am as a person. So I get it. I feel you. But once you do move forward and get yourself out of this dilemma or situation, whatever you want to call it, you're going to feel like you've been doing this for a lot longer than you have. Maybe you're natural at it and you don't know that, or maybe you were burnt out, whatever. But I do see that this is meant to happen. Whatever this is, that you're going to find your balance in, and that you're going to mature having done so. And that's okay to be hesitant about. Just because something's supposed to happen doesn't mean we have to love it. Doesn't mean we have to even like it. But I see this is going to bring you a lot more joy than you think, or than you feel right now. Potion. Remember to practice self-love. Surround yourself with love. Take a chance on them. So whatever it is that you've been going back and forth on and struggling to move forward with, this could be a relationship. This could be friendships, any sort of relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic in nature. Maybe it's an environment instead of a relationship. But this is something that you're going to have to love yourself through. You have to make this decision. You have to love yourself through this. And that doesn't mean that you can't have people around you. And, accepting help from others is important. But focus on the here and the now, not the past, not the future. History does not always repeat itself. And remember that we are all just stardust. And with that card, this is not a life or death situation. This is not an end all be all. This is just part of your journey. This is another step in your life. That doesn't mean it's not a big, important step. Man, those clouds are getting on my dang nerves. But you can always rewrite the story. If you don't like the decision that you've made after you've made it, you can change it. You can move in a whole nother direction. It's going to be okay. And once you're able to move forward and get out of your own head about it, you're going to do great things. Come home to yourself. You're with you. You've got you. You're the one that you have to spend your life with. You're the one that you're going to be with at the end of the day. So whatever this decision is that you're moving forward with in one way or another, it has to be okay with you and your conscience, because you have to live with that decision. Nobody else has to live with that for you, because we are all capable of making our own decisions on our own paths in the ways that we're meant to do so. Jealous, privilege, empath. Maybe you're frustrated with even having to be doing the thing, or having to make decisions about the thing or whatever. It's easy to look at others and where they're at and their situations and be envious of that and be jealous, because you may feel as though others have it easier than you do, or you might feel like you're just in an unfair situation, and you very well may be. And as difficult as it is for me to even say, because I get so sick of hearing this myself, this is a situation that you were meant to be in. in one way or another. Because these are the times that we have to grow. And we don't have to like it. But things are not as they appear to you right now. You might be feeling some type of way. You might be triggered. But remember to focus on you and work on you and your business. Mind the business that pays you. And remember that the last thing to grow on a plant is the fruit. The last thing that's going to come is the end result that you want so desperately and that you really want to move towards, but you're just tired of doing it, or you don't even know how you're going to get there. But at the end of the day, this is just a part of your journey. This is a part of what you are meant to do and how you are meant to experience things and the decisions that you're meant to learn to make on your own for yourself. But you are safe right now. And if you need to take more time to be alone, that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying, all right, stop. Like, I got stuff moving all over the freaking place. Whose idea was this? Okay. If you still need to rest and make these decisions and find a way to navigate and maneuver, that's absolutely fine. And that might be what you're meant to be doing right now. And maybe this decision is something that you're just thinking about having to make at some point. But you're safe. You're not in any sort of danger. And it's okay to be by yourself, and it's okay to think about yourself. Because like I said, you're the one that you have to live with. And if it takes you a little extra time to do what you need to do, then that's fine. You need to do this your way. And once you do, you'll be fine. So just wait. If that's what you need to do. Give it some patience. Give it some time. Meditate on it. You're not late. Everything is on time. You will make it. Just focus on how you are going to decide to move forward and to find that spark again. I'm not saying you have to run with it. I'm not saying that you have to take action immediately, because, you know, these cards be telling me that you need to chill a little bit. It's hard to do when we're excited about something or worried about something or whatever. But if you need to take a little bit of extra time in order to really be grounded in making sure that you know that you are making the right decision and that you are growing in the way that you're meant to, that's how it's meant to be. Because when it's time, you're going to move forward. You will get through this. You will end up balanced. You will end up with a lot more knowledge and a lot more passion than you even intended. As of right now, what you need to hear is that you're going to get through this. You're going to make it to the other side. You're going to find the other side. You're going to get there. But I feel like what you really need is to find more conviction in your own decision first. I'm not saying that you don't know how to get there or you don't know what the next move to make is, and it's okay to hesitate. It's okay to take your time and wait for the right time and wait for the right opportunity. But I feel like you might just be unsure right now still, and that's normal. But you don't need to be afraid that everything is going to burst into flame, because it's not. And if you make a mistake. That's okay. Be yourself. You don't need to have unrealistic expectations about yourself, which is something that I, love to do, is have unrealistic expectations of me. But remember that you are a whole ass human, and you're going to do whole human things and make whole human decisions, and that this is part of your whole human journey. You're going to make it. But don't forget to just be. You're okay where you're at right now. And you will make this decision, and you will move forward, even though you might not even want to right now. But just sit and try to realize the deeper meaning behind the decision that you're making, or the ways that you are feeling. And why is it that you maybe stopped because it was unfamiliar? Why is it that you're feeling triggered? And it's not, being triggered is not a terrible thing in itself. It's not. That's how we grow, and everyone on this entire earth has something that triggers them, because that's part of human experience. That's part of life. And you can carry those triggers with you, and you can know the reason behind them, and you can work through them and know how to navigate and make space for that part of yourself. And that's a lot easier to do whenever you have an inkling of the reason behind the feeling. But I feel like right now what you need to hear is that you're really going to benefit from just sitting with yourself and then moving forward. Because at the beginning I said you are going to make a decision to move forward, and you do need to make that decision. But what I'm seeing now is that although you do need to move forward, I feel like you need to spend a little bit more time grounding yourself in your current reality. Let's see if I can get you some songs. Meet Me on the Battlefield. To Another Level. Paralyzer. Boomerang. The Heat. These can all be found on YouTube. I've personally listened to all of these on YouTube, so that is how I know. And we have the last of the real ones. So you can screenshot this and listen to whichever ones you want, or all of them, or none of them. It really is up to you. Keep Breathing by Nathan Wagner. Nathan Wagner has a lot of really good songs, and I end up crying whenever I listen to most of them. And I've listened to them for years. He's about the only one that can do that to me. But anyways, that's what you need to hear, is that everything's going to be okay at the finish line, and you will find the finish line, and you will get there. And you'll get there with conviction. But there's a whole process whenever it comes to even making a decision on which way it is that you want to go and which way it is that you need to go, because those might not even be the same thing. And a lot of times it's hard for us to put our own needs first. And I feel like that's a lesson that you might be learning right now, is to really slow down and think about you and how you are going to benefit from every side of this situation and how you can move forward, even if it's not something that you want to make a decision on. Sometimes we're put in situations where we have to make decisions because we need to grow, and we might want to hold on for dear life to what we have and where we're at because we're comfortable and we feel safe, and you are safe and you will be safe. But you're coming up on a point where you're going to have to go somewhere unfamiliar. And that is scary, and that is intimidating. And that's why I really want you to make sure that you are as confident in your decisions and your process as you can be. And that's not saying that you won't doubt yourself at times. That doesn't mean you won't question yourself. And that doesn't mean you might not just change your trajectory altogether at some point, because you might. But try to remember that this is just a phase. This is just a chapter. But you need to hear that you're going to be okay. And if you believe in working with rocks, crystals, gems, whatever you want to call them, I'm hearing the word selenite. I personally don't know a whole lot about what each thing is supposed to do as far as like what crystal. I collect them because they're pretty and I like them. But I don't know. Just look into selenite if you feel inclined to do so. If not, it's absolutely fine.